Call your sponsor. Call your sponsor. Call you sponsor. Call you.
Oh, that is a really big win. And you made me think of another example of this.
Tell me.
Speaking of big wins. Okay, kinesiology. Power versus Force, one of our favorite books. And he talks about like that your body knows, and you can do these tests with yourself physically. Like you can put a packet of artificial sweetener up against your heart and then see if you lean forward or lean back as to whether it's good for you, right? And you can put an apple up to your heart and just have your feet grounded, see if you lean forward or lean back. So, of course, Misty, she takes this knowledge into the casino, right? I've been doing this for 10 years where I'll go to a casino and I'll get my feet grounded and planted and like see if this, slot machine is having me lean forward or lean back. And what happens is I put the money in when it leans forward. I win within like 3 things. And then I go to another one. But at a certain point in the casino, I am just, I think I'm leaning forward, even if I'm not. And whatever money I was up, I will inevitably go down because I'm no longer connected. This is no longer, was it ever spiritual? I don't know, but there was something. And so anyways, I did do that. This last week, turns out they have a casino in downtown Chicago.
Oh, wow. And then were you able to stay connected and just win?
No, of course not. I walked in and I do my little thing and I get there and the first thing I win is like $40. And I'm like, thank you, darling, cutie little machine. And I flirt with it and I go to another one and I do it. Oh, and they gave me $10 free, FYI. Wow. So I was still playing on that $10 when I'm up like 110. And then I just went batshit crazy and was like, I think I walked out with, $50. Yeah, I walked out with $50.
Okay, so go ahead. No, so this is a very valuable, this is a lesson that I continually am experiencing, is being connected with myself and then somewhere veering off and not realizing I veered off.
Exactly.
And so what I mean is like, I'm connected to my higher power, my higher self within. And then at some point in the equation, I end up not realizing that I've given over the power to a person, place, or thing. It's usually a person. Mm-hmm. And what I end up I then find myself refreshing whatever app to see if they've written back and it's in that moment of the awareness where I'm like, 10 minutes in and I'm like, oh, I've gone out numb and I'm just focused on this one thing or this one person to reply or to whatever they're doing. And it's at that moment I then realize like, oh, they're not my higher power. I'm totally disconnected to self. And to reel it in. However, sometimes I find it a little tricky because there's a lot of energy and a lot of excitement. And there's probably like a dopamine hit around that refresh.
Yeah, and we're never going to do it perfect.
Right.
We're not supposed to. There's no there. It's impossible for me to be a human and stay connected in that place at all times. And if that's my goal, I'm setting myself up for failure. But yeah, it is a subtle foe. Like I never know when I've gone from being in my truth and feeling comfortable being uncomfortable and just like, to ego. Somewhere along the track, it switches and it was so seamless that I didn't even feel it. And now I don't realize that I'm being brazen and, overpowering everything and I'm no longer behind my belly button. I'm living from my fingertips.
I love this belly button fingertip thing. I need to use that more.
Well, that shout out to Krista because I got to give her credit. I love that one as well. And it's not mine.
I mean, thanks for passing it on. It's really beautiful. You know, I always talk about the gut but the belly button fingertip is like, that's where it's at.
It does. It's like fingertips grabbing for shiny, behind the belly button, cement.
Yeah. It's like foundational. It's grounding. It's ultimately freedom is what's there.
Oh, preach, Sam. That is it.
It's
that
freedom.
Really is it. Because when I'm in that place where I am in my body and can know what I want, feel, need, and am coming from that place, it is the freedom that I've been chasing with the roller coasters and Coke and people and drinks and all of that. I was chasing freedom that I didn't know was really right within me.
I like this topic a lot. I'm just trying to think I'm reviewing my week in my head very fast, thinking of other occurrences where this has happened. What's really resonating is that I know every time I speak to you there's this, and can you do so with love and compassion and kindness for yourself, you know? And I think that there's still this deep down in me, I know there's a belief that there's no wrong turn, right? It's like, as long as I can do this from love, is the thing I've been practicing recently. The thing that I am hyper aware of, though, in reviewing my week is that I can be very hard, and that perfectionist, that little devil comes out. That's the perfectionist of like questioning why it was done a certain way, how it could have been done better. You know, there's a lot of that, still some self-judgment and criticism.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Also, like, we're supposed to review our day and see where we did it wrong, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I don't necessarily think is helpful.
Seeing the wrong.
Yeah.
Focusing on it. Yeah. No, totally. I've with that wrong list, I have the right list, right? So not where I was dishonest, but where was I rigorously honest? You know, not where I was selfish, where was I generous? And, you know, sometimes, most of the time, actually, I usually give people the inventory to work with on the positive side. Like, where was I generous? Like, where was I kind, considerate, and loving? You know, versus the other side, which I know that that like innately comes to me because I just default to those things usually, is what I find.
Right. So it's like, how can I look at myself instead of from a critical lens through a loving lens?
So deep.
So deep, so good. I love it.
I have a question.
Yes.
How would you say, I'm into like the split screen, like either pre-recovery and post-recovery or whatever that delineation is, but how would you say your definition of love has grown and evolved?
That is a really good
Changed?
question. Yeah, that's a really good question. Love to me look like someone accepting me unconditionally and approving of me and making me happy all the time.
Ooh, sign me up.
That is what it looked like. And I was like, where is he? Why isn't he here yet? God, I did a fist up with a sponsee. Why don't I have someone sitting here adoring me, just sitting here looking at me lovingly? Which, by the way, I've seen the men that do that to their partners, and mainly there's no respect for those. They're like, get a spine, you know?
Yeah.
So it's probably not the answer. And now what love looks like to me, ooh, I'm about to get misty.
Oh, Misty's getting misty.
Now what it looks like to me is love for me and kindness towards me and self-acceptance towards me and just really playful being me. And then when I come from that place, the most loving thing I can do for other people is to allow them to be themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can't do that when I have this inner critic on me. Of course, there's going to be an inner critic on you.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I'll agree. I don't think it was me. That was a download. Okay, you're up. How has your definition of love changed?
Love used to be very conditional and transactional, based on achievement and being somebody or something, or do it. I need to do something to get it. It also looked like tough love, and or it came in the form of fixing somebody. Like, oh, I'm going to make you your best self. This worked for me, so I want you to try it. And yeah, let me just do a makeover, even though you're not asking me to do a makeover. And then you'll be so excited for your reveal, you won't even know what happened. You know, like
You're
that was
welcome.
me. Yeah,
I love
totally.
it.
So like the way that looked like with my mom was like her spiritual progress. Like, oh, here's some spiritual books that worked for me and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I know you believe in your own faith, and this is what's working for me, you know?
Right.
And it's
I
like
have the
Amazon.
answers.
Yeah, exactly. I have the answers. I'm your guru. But I'm really not, you know, I'm just kind of helping, quote unquote, helping you, you know, that was love. And then today it's very similar to what you've shared. Love is radical acceptance. It's the, you know, when I say I love you, it's this I accept every nook and cranny exactly the way it is. Whereas before it was, I love you if blah, 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 you know?
Right.
Which wouldn't be verbalized. It would just be, I love you. And then, you know, I'd have the series of projects in my mind, you know? Versus now it's the absolute presence. It's the heart opening. It's the full acceptance of what is versus what should be or what could be. And it's like what you were sharing, it's both, it's the inside and the outside, and it's, you know, what for myself and then to others, and it's ultimately, that's like for me the replay button, you know, where it's like what goes in goes out, and you know, it's all a practice for me.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. When I went to go get my hair done this week in Chicago with a new girl doing my hair, and everything in me was like, this is sketchy as hell. But I went through it because I was too polite to cancel plans. Worked out. My hair looks good. But she said that she was having problems with her dad was a drinker, and now she was dating an alcoholic. Shocking. And the girl's like 20 something, right? But she was talking about how she wanted to be with him. She just needed him to change everything.
Oh, I get that.
And I was like, well, you know, real love is that you accept him how he is right now without changing one single thing about him. And that's what you're willing to work with for the rest of your lives. And she was like, I don't love him. It was great. It was so much fun. I didn't even ask, do you want my experience, strength, and hope? I'm like, I'm in your chair. You're sharing this. You're getting the goodie bag.
This is for free. You got this.
You're welcome.
Well, this was wonderful. I utterly enjoy doing this. This is, I'd have to say, one of my top 3 episodes.
Same.
And I'm excited to see others as we continue down this path.
This has become the highlight of my week, and I'm so grateful to you and for our little meat and potato stew here.
Thanks, Misty.
Thanks, Sam. Bitch. Call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor.
Call you sponsor.
Sponsor.
Call you
Call
sponsor.
your
Call you
sponsor.
sponsor.
Bitch.
Call you.
Bitch, call your sponsor.
Call your sponsor. Call your